Hi. Wow, I love this music. It's so heroic. I prefer this one. Right. We're gonna be gaming. We're gonna be gaming today. Excuse me. This is an appropriate soundtrack, I think, but I'm gonna quieten it down a little bit. Just while I set up the game. Bow, 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 bow. My webcam is delayed slightly. That's annoying. Oh well. Okay. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Oops. Wow, 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 wow. All right. Hello, Glove. Welcome to the stream. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, welcome, Glove. What's going on, man? All right. Everything is now set up to a suitable degree. Playing now. Oh, the Nemesis theme. I've just got the soundtrack to Alton Towers. It's just a theme park that I go to a lot. They've just got incredible soundtracks. So I love them. They're amazing. So I just put them on my stream and it works so well. This one's for Nemesis. I love Nemesis. Nemesis is cool because he looks like, okay, that's not what it looks like, because it looks like this big creature. Look at that. Look how sick that is. My webcam is really delayed, isn't it? That's better for now, kind of. I might have made a mistake booting OBS onto my AMD card instead of my NVIDIA card, because it's using up a lot of my card. I mean, at least the games will probably hopefully run well. What else can we close to compensate? Not a whole lot. Okay. Well, closing Chrome will help.
which I should probably do now. Okay. So, gaming. We're gonna be gaming today. I'm gonna be finishing off Resident Evil 7, and if we have time starting Resident Evil 8, we will see. For now, we're gonna stop. Actually, no, we'll keep this going for a little bit. We're gonna boot into Resident Evil 7. Currently downloading Euphoria Physics Engine. It's pretty old and got discontinued. Yeah, I've heard of it. Why? Why are you downloading a physics engine? Alright. Oh, the game is loading, so it's gonna... let's just turn off Spotify. And let the game do its thing. Right. Now it should load onto OBS. Or not. Or I guess it won't do that. Oh, is it not doing that because OBS isn't running on the same GPU? Oh, now that is rude. I got them flipped. Endorphin is the one I'm downloading. Fair enough. Understandable. I won't question it, if I'm honest. I'll leave you be. Okay. Oh, you're doing SFM on me. Ah. I used to do that. Not a lot. I moved to Blender after a while. SFM's great though. I used to use it to make like my own little Half-Life animations. I did like Black Mesa. That was fun. Anyway, I'm about to play the rest of Resident Evil 7. I don't know how long this is going to take me, but we're almost at the end of the game, so it shouldn't take me too long. Let's go. I think I'm ready. I'm going to assume that I'm ready. I'm going to have to turn the game's... Oh no, I don't have to turn the game's volume down. It should be fine, actually. I played with it a little bit. The only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is the webcam situation. It's bugging. Like, it's struggling a lot. That's the only thing that's worrying me a little bit. Do I use a different codec? I was making an animation in Gmod during December of last year. Yeah, how did that go? Gmod's tricky to animate in, because obviously you got to do everything in the 3D environment. Okay. I might have to... If this webcam problem persists, which I think it is, I might have to restart stream temporarily. But I'm going to try one more thing before I do. I'm going to turn that off, so I'm going to be frozen for a minute. And we're going to relaunch a different version of it. And hope... Oh, hello. And hope... See me twice. That this fixes it. It might not. But one can only hope that it does. So we'll see. It's working so far. This is good. But when I launch Resident Evil, that might change. So, okay. This is positive. It's working. It's working. Yes. Yes, it's working. Good. We don't have to restart. That's fantastic. Right. Let's excuse me. Got some yellow box around my screen. I don't really want that, so I'm gonna turn that off by changing the way it captures my screen, hopefully. Can I do that? Apparently not. Alright, that's worked. No, it hasn't. Never mind. We'll cope with it. We'll cope with it. This is good, though. It's working. Alright, so... yeah. we're literally continuing straight off. So I've sorted. I had a volume problem with last stream, so my my voice wasn't loud enough. Well, the game was too loud, so it drowned out my voice. But now we shouldn't have that problem. So let us continue playing the game. God, it has been a while since I've been this far into the game. I can't lie. Okay, we're like at the end game for this section of the game. So, oh yeah, I need the crank. Whoopsie, I forgot it. This is doing one thing though. Like, as much as it was frustrating earlier with like last stream was frustrating because I had a great time, but I had loads of problems with performance in my game. But now I've changed it so that OBS is running on a different graphics card entirely than the game. So now none of those problems. This game will perform exactly how it usually would when it's not being captured, which is fantastic. I am. But what I can do, I know I just said it should be fine, but I don't see why I can't play with the settings to maybe make it a little bit more fine. Whoa, shadow quality, what's that doing on? No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. It should be fine. It's running fine. I have no reason to actually change the settings, so I'm not going to. God, it's been a while since I've been this part of the game. This is... I think I've only been in this section of the game once. If my memory serves me right, though, there will be enemies on this section, so I'm not looking forward to that. But I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, it's giving us plenty of stuff. That's interesting. I don't know why it's doing that. I mean, it's good. Do I have any gunpowder? No. I was gonna say, if I had gunpowder, I could make enhanced ammo, which would be great, but I don't. Burner fuel. I do not need burner fuel. Get that shit out of my face. Right. Crank. I'm trying to make this mic as good as I can. So it captures my voice, and no matter what, it's a little bit difficult. Might have to... No, to be fair, if I stay in this position, this is perfect. Oh, fuck. Okay. Alright. That was okay. Is there more? The music's playing as if there's more. Oh, Jesus, there is. Alright, well, get fucked, bastards. I'm gonna leave. One. Holy shits. Still got it. Still fucking got it. Holy shit. Okay. Oh, there's another one over there. There's two. Good thing I do not need to go that way, Anna. I don't know why they spawned over there. Fuck off. That actually scared me the fucking shit out of me. Oh, I thought you were dead. Jesus. Okay, now you are. Oh, that freaked me out. Oh, you got hit fast. Never mind, maybe it's valid that they spawn over there. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, shit, hello. I'm just gonna go in. See you guys. Oh my god. Okay. That was quite the start. Oh, gunpowder, yay. Got some enhanced rounds. Oh shit, this game is giving everything to me now. I don't really need strong chem fluid for anything, I don't think. Oh, we've got some flame rounds. Perfect. Do I need this coin for anything now? I don't think so, if I'm honest. No, I really don't think so. I'm just going to put the coin back for now. And then... I'll take the newer rounds. I don't need the head yet. We have plenty of shotgun shells. I don't think we need the crank anymore, so I'm just going to put it away. I don't know why we'd need the repair kit, unless it was just a second chance to repair that other gun, which I have. Anything that I can separate? Not really, no. That's a shame. I could have separated the burner fuel if I kept it, actually. Oh, ad is about to start. We won't leave the safe room until that ad's over. Right, we can't actually really make anything with either of these. Oh wait, yes we can. I've got a herb. I'll make... I don't... Oh, fuck, I just used it by accident. Well, that was a waste. Right, we'll wait till this ad's done, because it will run an ad now. Actually, I'll run it manually and then... Lovely. I'll leave this ad to run. I don't know if this ad has run, but I'm leaving it to run anyway. Because I'm a nice guy. I'll wait. I have so many. Has that done anything? No. I have so many chem fluids. Oh, there's something down there. Can I get that? I don't think I can. I don't know how I get that. Unless that's where I come out. That might be where I come out. Okay. So. We have a separating agent. And we have 2 chem fluids and 1 strong chem fluid. Unless I use that strong chem fluid on the newer rounds? No, I can't. Alright, well, I don't really know what I'll do with that, so I'm just gonna save and keep it all. And we're just gonna go for this. I think this is the Baker boss fight. This is the Jack boss fight, the final one. So I'm just gonna go with the assumption. Yes, it is. Oh, should we trigger the cutscene? Should we go? Okay, let's go.
Mia.
Oh, this is okay. Yeah, we'll have to go a little bit further. There we go.
Zoe.
Not now. We don't have the time.
We don't have the
Do
time.
you have both ingredients?
Oh no, I don't. Sorry, I'll go get them. I left them downstairs. Can I get this back? Yeah, sorry. I need the ingredients. Let me just go grab them. Sorry about this. That's fucking stupid. Okay, where are they? D-series head. D-series arm. That's what we need. That's ridiculous. Mia?
Hurry, and give me the serum ingredients.
Okay.
Right here. There should be enough, right?
If we make them fast enough, my father and Lucas aren't far away.
He's coming. Daddy's coming.
Daddy's coming.
Good. There's enough for 2.
Is enough for 2. That's great.
So
I hope it's...
What's next?
Why is my foot... Why is that disconnected? What's going on? It hasn't. Okay, we're fine. For some reason, it disconnected for a sec. That was weird. But we're back.
We'll take it through the swamp. But none of us will get very far without the serum. Hey, one of those is mine.
One of those is mine. Yo, what's up, Daddy? What's going on, Father? His father. I'm not sure how to do this fight. I can't actually remember. So I probably will die here.
This is getting old, Jack.
I agree. It's getting old, Jack. Come on. Oh yeah, I've got to shoot his eye things. Yeah. I remember. I should move. I should get out of here. I'd rather stay up here if I can. He's got one big one there. Oh shit, he coming up. Yeah, I thought he'd hit me then. This is fine, this is fine. That was perfectly timed, holy shit. Let me fucking shoot. Oh, I have no ammo in that, okay. That was close. Okay, that is all my flame rounds gone. We'll have to do neuros. We're not gonna get hit. Oh fuck! Oh shit, we actually didn't get hit. Holy fuck. That hit me. Surely that means you don't want to attack me then. This is going very well. I really hope this doesn't somehow fuck up in a minute. Because he's very low. Where's the last eye? I swear there's one more. I'm wading about in here. No, please don't. Please don't. Oh, he doesn't fucking know where I am. Oh, he's blind. Yeah, of course he's blind. He doesn't know where I am. Where's his last eye then? Oh, it's there. It's there. I see it. I see it. So okay, he heard that, so he'll know where I am. But he doesn't know where I am right now, which I can use to my advantage. Oh shit. Oh, okay, all right. That was close. That was close, buddy. Oh shit, he about to get me. Come on, come on, we got this, we fucking got this. Okay, there's another eye somewhere that I'm clearly missing. Hi! How the fuck? How the fuck did he reach me? Okay, don't really need any of this handgun out. I'm using my shotgun. There. Okay. There's definitely another one though. Oh, we locked down here? Oh, shit. Oh. Oh. I've just realized my camera's fucked. My camera is absolutely fucked. Is it okay? Is it doing alright? Hold on, we have to reduce it to 30 frames a second. My PC is dying. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to do, Oh wait, I'm on quiet mode as well. I'm not even on performance mode. That's fucking partly why. I'm a dumbass. Hold on. No, do not print screen. My poor PC is on... It's probably like heat throttling. Oh, this poor thing. Yeah, that's immediately zapped up the performance. How's the camera doing? Not connected. That's fine. You're going to hear my computer through my mic, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that it's okay. Oh, I've just been doing all of that. My poor PC suffering. Oh dear. There we go. Back. I'm back. I'm back. There we go. Goddamn, I hope it's okay. Oh dear, I'm such an idiot, huh? Why can he see now? I don't understand that. I assume he's dead. Yeah. That was easy. That was really easy. Oh dear.
Now, I've seen everything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Alright. Just making sure. Just making sure. Oh, hi. Convenient that you get here, huh, dumbass? Oh, no, he's not dead. Okay, yeah. I do forget there's one more bit.
Serum on him.
Get the serum on him.
Lock on. I think you'll kill him.
Thing is, I have a gun. Could have just shot him. Instead, I've had to waste a serum on him when we only had 2. It's stupid. I mean, it worked, but I literally could have just shot him there. That would have killed him, but
Mia's waiting for us.
now I've had to use a serum with 2 of them. I'm obviously choosing Mia. I mean, fuck Zoe. I don't give a shit about her.
I had to use one of them. There's only one left.
There's only one left. There can't just be one left. What the hell are we gonna do now?
Obviously, I'm gonna kill Mia. Get fucked. Go. Get cured. Sorry, Zoe. I barely fucking know you.
It was foolish thinking I could escape.
Yeah.
Zoe. Go! Both of you just go!
Hey, I'm doing this for lore reasons, all right?
I'm sure there's
You ain't in
someone who can
the
help.
8th game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Apparently I belong here.
With that accent, yeah, you do.
I'll send help.
Don't bother. There won't be anyone left to help!
Why did you expect me to not save you? Like, you versus my literal wife over here. Like, what the fuck do you expect? Ridiculous. Taking it out on me. What a bitch. She deserves to stay. Stupid. I don't know what she expected. Ad break time. I'm gonna wait for the ad to end by changing settings. I don't like having ads. I hate it. But I need money. Oh, I need money somehow. Okay. I suppose now would be a good time to fuck with settings, I suppose. Shadow quality is something that I like having high. Even if it fucks with frames. That I don't mind. And volumetric lighting. I love them, but reflections, turn that shit off. The shadow quality and volumetric lighting I like high as you can. Hello, Lunateers. What's going on? Welcome. I'm staying paused for a second because there is, technically speaking, an ad that's playing, and I don't know if everyone can see. Might only be just you, though, so maybe it doesn't matter. So maybe we should just... Oh, yeah, now it's an ad. Now it's an ad. Yeah. Ad break ends in 50 seconds. I don't know if everyone's even got an ad, but sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So I don't want to continue with the game till the ad's over. Great. Just a bit of silence. My day was fantastic. Well, it was very boring, actually. I've been editing together the stream from 2 days ago, the Resident Evil 7 stream, because I'm making I finished it. It's just I need to do what's left of the game before I can put it on my YouTube channel. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just need to finish to edit what I'm gonna stream today into that, and then I've got like the whole game in one big video that's like probably about half an hour long on my YouTube channel. I don't know if anyone will watch it. I like doing it. So yeah, it's the same name. It's Cave T. And it's, you'll know it's me if you search it, if you know my Twitch. So you just search Cave T on YouTube and you'll find it. Right, let's go. Yo, what's up, Mia? God, she's not had a good day, really, has she?
Ethan? Thank you.
Who the hell else was I gonna choose?
Thank you for the subscription. The 2 subscriptions. I don't know why she's upset. She tried to kill me.
I know you've been through a lot. We need to talk. You had something to do with all this, didn't you?
Yeah, she did.
Look, I just want to know the truth.
Ethan, I honestly don't remember.
Sure you don't.
Try. Is that the boat?
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she's got a point. But I can't lie, I'd probably do the same thing as Ethan in that situation. So, you know, I can't really. That's a big boat.
You're okay. What the hell was that?
Uh-oh.
What the fuck? What is that?
Uh-oh. Looks like the game ain't over yet.
Mommy.
Thanks.
This way.
Oh, wait, do I play as Mia in this bit? I forgot about this. I completely forgot you play as Mia at this part of the game. That's crazy. Thank you. Thank you. I do like... I keep him there. I've got 2 more as well. I don't know what seasons they are. The one where he's in prison and the
Ethan?
one where he's got short hair. All right, let's go. Yeah, this part is... I like this part of the game. A lot of people don't talk about this part of the game, but I like this one. Oh, here's Ethan with his Apple Watch on.
Ethan!
Okay, bye, Ethan. To be fair, I don't know why they this thing like, well, I don't know why Mia is with Ethan. I don't know the lore, but like I don't know if like Ethan is just a normal guy, and then Mia is involved in all this secret stuff and just doesn't tell him. Surely that's not the foundations for a good marriage. I don't know what that is about. Right. Oh, we got the stick drift again. Ethan is a little cute patootie, to be fair. Alright, we're doing this. I've not done this part of the game since I first played this game. It has been a while. That doesn't open. Flashbacks.
What was that?
Flashback. I literally said that. Okay, let's go. So disgusting. Oh, it's people. People try to escape. It is icky water. Gross. What's this? Nothing. Oh yeah, we don't exactly have anything. We have a strange bottle. Oh, is this the virus or something? Oh no, because it's not a virus, is it? It's a... Is it a virus? No, I think it's a biohazard something. So maybe it is a virus. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, hello. Ruh-roh. I guess that's where I'm going then. Oh, great. I was playing Resident Evil 2 last night. Megamysate. An ancient organism that acts as a progenitor for various viruses. Ah, okay. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, I was playing Resident Evil 2 yesterday. And it made me realize I was playing the A campaign, like the A story campaign, as Claire. And it made me realize that women in Resident Evil games, like when you play as them, are actually so much more interesting as characters than the men. Like playing as Leon in Resident Evil 2, I mean, it's still great. It's still an amazing game. But I was playing as Leon, but I always usually play as Leon. And I was like, you know what? I barely ever play as Claire. Let's do it, because I don't really... I'm getting bored of Leon now. And I was playing... she just reacts to everything so much more. Oh, hello. Jesus. Yeah, Claire just reacts in a way that I would react. She's more relatable. Whereas Leon is just this, like... He obviously is supposed to be this, like, tough guy. And it just doesn't work. She's inside me. Hey, yo. Don't mind that. Oh, this is like Subnautica. It's like on the Aurora. This is cool, though. There's some really cool set pieces in the late game. Oh, there she is. Leviathan is coming. Yeah, the Reaper Leviathan is going to show up.
Are you remembering?
I'm remembering, Evelyn.
What?
Hello.
What are you?
She crazy. Hi. I get that she's a bio weapon, but why is she a girl? Like, why is she just a little girl? I don't understand that. I'm sure it'll explain this shortly in the game, but still. I haven't played this in a long time. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Oh. Do I have to go down there? Oh, yeah, I do. It is very much a walking simulator right now, huh? Oh, no, I'm remembering vaguely. I am vaguely remembering. Yes. No, I'm starting to remember. Oh. Guess I ain't getting in there. Oh, I don't have anything to break that with. Oh, it was a herb. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna start getting attacked. This is fun. Yeah, there's one of those freaks down there. I don't have any weapons. And they just put it right there. Which just isn't great for me, really. You could just continue going that way. Oh, you bastard. Oh, wow! That was... Jesus Christ. That was quite the jump. Me coming in here was brave, because I had no idea if there was anything in here or not. Alright, we got chem fluid. That's good. First aid. Oh, you little bastard. To be fair, there's only one of them. I could probably slip round him if I get him to come over here. Yes, my sweet. Come this way. Because I need this, don't I? Then just go out this way. Oh shit. Yeah, this is good. I don't think they can open doors, so this is fantastic actually. I need something to open these boxes. I ain't reading all that. Oh, psychostimulants, that's good. I'll take those. Oh, I'd love to see what's in there. Yeah, I really would love to. Okay, that thing's over there, so we can go this way. There's one here. Okay, I don't know what I was hearing then. Oh, this is a safe thing. Okay, yes, we got a gun. We got a gun. Drink something. Oh, I have this, but it's absolutely vile. I'm gonna drink it anyway. Ah! Oh, it's horrible. Like lemon and strawberry. And it's disgusting. It's very artificial, it's very cheap. Right, I think we save. Yeah, Mia with the Glock. Okay, there is an ad. Okay, now I have 2 bullets to fight back. Hello. Oh, that was enough. Okay. I guess we ain't fighting back. I'll go in here. I should have used it on this, really. Is there any more ammo? Yes! It listened. Anything else in this room? No, it's all in the room over. Which I cannot access. That's just lovely, isn't it? But at least I know there's stuff in that room. Oh, it is warm as well. Yeah, no, it's still warm. What's this? Nothing of interest to me. And here are creatures. You're looking for ammo in Resident Evil 2. Oh yeah, Resident Evil 2 you get just no ammo ever. It's very annoying. Oh my god, let me do it. Okay, lovely, we have the stairs. Nope, okay. Going up to 3F. You know it's a Resident Evil game where the you know what, never mind. No, I was gonna say, you know it's a Resident Evil game when they're giving you letters as well as numbers for the floors. I don't know why that's a thing they do. Oh, hi Evelyn.
Watch it.
Okay.
What? Why?
You need to remember, so we can be a family.
Okay. She's chill, to be fair. At least she's not just killing me. I don't really want to, though. I can't be bothered. I guess we have to. This subject, E-001. Top secret.
Alan, you're getting worse.
She must have infected me during the attack.
Yes, that's probably what she did.
I'm too far gone anyway.
He's got one of the watches on him.
But it serves me right. It's my fault she got out.
Yeah, it is your fault. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna let you die.
She didn't attack you?
It's part of her imprinting
Literally
protocol.
everyone dripped up with the Apple
She
Watches.
believes this is happening.
Everyone's rich. Wish I had an Apple Watch. I used to.
Take it. It has her tissue samples. You find her. fix this.
Mia has one too.
Where are you?
I wonder if the one that Ethan has is Mia's. That might be the case. I have a machine gun in this? Damn, okay. Yo, Evelyn.
She's close.
She in here. Oh, she ain't in here. Guess we going down. I mean, check the rest of this floor. I know she's not here. Some supplements. I can't remember how long you're in this section of the game. I don't really want to be in this tape ball game. I don't think we are. Oh, unless Evelyn is... Oh, she's in this room. Okay, no, she's not down the elevator. Never mind. Silly me. Yeah, she's in there. Why can't I do that? I could have just continued walking. That's strange. Yeah, I don't think it's too long. It's just... Okay, I'm confused then. No, I do not want to put that in there. Oh, we got a little bit of stick drift there. Oh, we got loads. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it rained. Yeah, okay, she's definitely in there. Oh, there's a little... Okay.
She's vomiting.
Is that what that's called?
Damn, we'll have to reset.
How's it going?
She's vomiting. Far more in excess of her body mass.
Oh, great. We're gonna be seeing a lot more of her ugly friends if this keeps up. All right, we need to find her and fast. This is getting out of hand.
Agreed.
Live, laugh, love, stick drift. Honestly, real. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't think that's vomiting. I think that's something a lot worse. Strange way of saying that she's disforming. I don't even know what she. I just made that up. When are these freaks gonna show up? I feel like it should have happened already. Wow. I feel like I'm playing Call of Duty right now. Oh, hello. It's about time. God damn. Alright, I assume me hitting the gritty. Yeah, that's a really good point. Hey, you. Getting downstairs. Come out. Come out. Come down here now. Oh, bloody hell. She's leaving. Come up. You bastard. Get out of my lift. Oh, shit. That's what I thought. Now it's responding. I had to kill that guy first. What if I just didn't kill him? What if I left him there? Yeah, literally. Oh, I'm lagging. There we go. I remember finding this section hard, and it's very easy, which makes me think that I'm going to have to do this area again as Ethan. Or, well, as not as Ethan, as modern Mia. And it's going to be harder. 'Cause I remember finding this a lot more difficult. I think I played this game through twice, actually. Never mind, no. I think I played it through twice because I think the second time I did it was on Madhouse. Maybe it's because I played it on Madhouse. This is normal because I don't have access to Madhouse right now. I could just be a lot better now, yeah. Like, it was a long time ago that I played it. What's weird though, I'm playing it on controller, and I've never played it on controller before. And I find it more difficult. But even though I'm finding it more difficult, this is still really easy. So, I don't know. It's very strange. I use controller because it's a challenge for me because I'm not a controller guy. Do you have any ammo on you? I mean, not. You're an engineer. Yeah, I remember having, like, no health, but I haven't even been hit once, so I don't know. I need something for that, which I do not have.
Alan, I think she's on the other side of this door, but I don't have a key.
Try to melt down the lock. You're on the bottom level, right? Check our luggage.
That's what I'm doing. A bit of chem fluid. Okay, so now we have a first aid, which is interesting. Corrosive, lovely. Love a bit of corrosive material. Evelyn! I am not your mother.
Evie, I'm not mad. Wait, what did you call me?
I don't want to live in the lab anymore. I want out. And I want you to be my mommy.
Okay, Evie. I'll be your mommy. Just come back with me.
No,
right now.
stop with the false
Okay?
promises. Come on.
Where are you, Evie?
Okay, what do I do now? Okay, I've still got to follow it, so she's back this way. Oh yeah, there she is.
Evie, wait!
All I had to do was get my eye off the watch for a second.
Find her.
Yes, but she ran off. She's making more friends, Alan. Those things are everywhere.
I told you so.
Are you okay?
You just worry about getting Evelyn back.
Get her arm to move like that. Maybe this was the difficult bit. Okay, let's see. Yeah, maybe. No, I think this was the difficult bit, actually. Yeah, this is the difficult bit. Never mind. Because we don't have much ammo. That's what it is. Get this corrosive. Not the time for I told you so. Lovely. Is there any ammo in here? Yes, lovely. They do look like they want hugs, but they don't. Also, I completely forgot I have these remote bombs, so I'm going to start using these. There will definitely be some around this corner. Oh. I was gonna say, how do I detonate it? Lovely. Okay, that kills them in one hit, which is fantastic. Look at that! Oh, I love these remote bombs. This is way easier than last time. Yeah, I think it's safe to use bombs right by the pipes and the active fire. Yeah, sure. It's fine. No, Evelyn, don't make me wait for the lift again. I hate when people do this. God, people suck. I thought the music was someone's footsteps then. All right, come on. Lovely. Is another one going to drop from the ceiling? No, good. Right. We've got this. We've got this. This is okay. This is fine. Oh, for God's sake. All right. Fine. $2F. Ain't too bad. Oh, our box is over here, isn't it? In our little safe room. Let's go back to our little safe room.
Damn it.
Oh, he's not in here. Evie's upstairs. Okay. She did. She broke the elevator, the bastard.
Alan? Alan, where the hell are you?
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. This ain't good. Rip, Alan, you will be missed, not remembered. R.I.P. Alan, you will be forgotten. Oh, that was good. That's pretty solid, actually. This is why we need that little vent to climb through. Is her vomit still in here? Yeah. Well, vomit, quote unquote. Oh, one just formed in there. Okay, lovely. Well, let's ignore that. And go to 3F. Oh, wait, I've just realized we're in the same place. Oh my god. I've only just realized that. I mean, I knew we were, kind of. But also, like, I didn't realize we were, like, literally in the same place. Yeah, like, it's the same corridor. Weird. Okay, well, we don't need these stairs then. I thought we did, but I guess not. Yeah, there's one in here, isn't it? Oh, there's not. Oh, maybe we was just hearing this thing. Can we go in here? No. It did say Evie's upstairs. But we can't really get upstairs. Can't get in there. Let's use corrosive for these boxes, because there's one in here and there's one in the other room. Get some more remote bombs. It's good to have them. Good to have them. I might swap their slot, so it's just these two. Yeah. We need to go upstairs somehow. We can't. I don't really know what to do. I know she's upstairs. I don't know how to get up there. I'm a little bit confused. I'll try the stairs again, I suppose. I'll have another look. Right, so going upstairs. Oh, there's literally a door. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. This is stupid. So this is the room we saw Evie. So we're back up to where we were. Oh, what's up, Alan?
did you get here?
Where's Evie?
I don't
She's
know.
out of control.
I'm such a silly
Without the
sausage.
treatments, she's deteriorating.
I'm already dying.
Oh, don't die. You seem cool.
Don't say that.
That's what I'm saying.
She trusts you. That little bitch, she never trusted. Okay, wait. Evie, no, Evie.
Oh, sorry, Alan. You shouldn't have said that.
Control. You have to fight her.
Bye, Alan. No, that sucks.
Evelyn, stop! Stop right now!
Poor Alan, man. Brother doesn't deserve this. Evelyn, that was just not very nice. Was this where Mia got infected then? She looks very infected. This must have been where she got infected then. Yeah, he can just do a bit of paracetamol. He'll be fine. Crazy. Because I know the Baker family took her in and then took Evie in. But I feel like this is where she got infected. And the Baker family were just kind of unlucky enough. And this is where she films the message for Ethan.
Ethan. You were right.
Baker family did deserve better apart from
I
Lucas,
shouldn't
yeah.
have.
They were great people before.
All I can say is that if you get this, stay away.
See, at the same
Forget
time,
that
this
you
is great.
ever knew me.
You've been missing for 2 years. So at this point,
Have a good life.
you might as well just not do anything. Because he's probably just, you know, tried at least to make peace with the fact that you're not coming back. Now you've sent that, you've triggered something in him that's going to make him want to come back even if you say no. Which I think is just a bit stupid. Corridor ain't looking too good. So, I don't know. Personally, if I wouldn't do that. It's not like you're getting anything out of it. In fact, you're getting the worst possible scenario for Ethan. I was gonna shoot that guy, but... We'll be together forever, she says as she throws her off the ship. Holy shit, a bird just flew past my window. That was incredible. And here we go. She in the water. Birds, stop it. Birds outside my window. I don't know what they're doing. And then she got taken in. Evie's off her meds again. She really is. Really needs to get back on her meds. Water. Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yes, Evelyn. I remember.
Can we be a family like before?
No, Evie. We can't be a family. We were never a family. We will never be a family.
Then I don't need you anymore.
Why did you say that, Mia? It's a stupid thing to say. Because obviously now she's going to try and kill you. What's wrong with her? Drink something. Oh, making me drink this shit again. Oh, here we go. Ew. I'm not doing it again. Oh, God. I want to get rid of this stuff. I'm such an idiot. I have a whole bottle of Coca-Cola below me. What am I doing? I can just drink that instead. I'm a dumbass. If I had to choose being Mia's, but I'd probably happily drink the drink. I can't lie, I wouldn't really want to be in the position Mia's in right now. What did I just pick up? Oh, gunpowder, hell yeah. Get some more ammo, baby! I could have got enhanced handgun ammo actually with that, but oh well. Oh no, my laptop's broken. Okay, I need corrosive for that door. Oh, there's a lockbox. I don't have a lockpick. Maybe I'll find one. Crazy that Mia's now straight back in where she was before that she... Like, basically, the Baker family was just a small... No more Roblox. Poor laptop. The Baker family was just a small side mission for Mia. I find that very cool in, like, terms of storytelling. Okay. Oh, more gunpowder. Okay, so now we can make enhanced handgun ammo. Let's go. Do we get the machine gun now? No, we get a computer screen. Okay, I'm just gonna have to interact with the computer
Maybe it
screen.
still works.
Looks like it does. What am I doing? Am I looking for Ethan? There he is! I found him! He's in the basement.
I hope I make it in time.
You sound a little less distraught than you did earlier. His watch is red. Oh, she is in the table. What the fuck? Hello. Yeah, Ethan's
Fucking hallucinations.
inside it. That's crazy.
Where is she?
Evelyn vomited on him. Remote bomb. Perfect. That is what we want. Okay. Literally very dark. I can't see anything. What a nice view. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you're okay. Captain's cabin. Ah, yeah, here it is. So we need to get the key. Okay, we got a lug wrench, a ship map. Oh, these are all fantastic things. We need to find a key, though. I thought the same thing before that happened to him. So true. Oh, we're not going downstairs yet. I don't think we even need to go downstairs, actually. Yeah, I need to get the machine gun, and I need to get to the... Oh, yeah, no, I do need to get to the bottom level. So what is in here? This just brings me out here again. Okay. Fair enough. So where's this key? I can use the lug wrench for something. Herb there. I assume this is how I get to the bottom layer. I wonder... Okay, let's go down here then. Maybe there is something down here that I can get that will get me the machine gun. The remote bomb. I can hear... You! Haha! Hello, my friend. Goodbye. Okay. This is useless to me. This gives me nothing. Alright. We need to find a key. We also need to figure out what to use that lug wrench for. Yeah, I know Ethan's there. A little bit confused. I wonder if there's anything in here that I've not seen. Maybe I can use the lug wrench on this? No, I didn't think so. I don't really have anything. Interesting. I don't really want to jump down there. No, I probably shouldn't. Then again, maybe that is the only thing I can do. Oh, I have to use the lug wrench on this No doubt. Yep. I thought so. I thought so. Oh, that takes us to 3F. Were we on 3F? No, we weren't on 3F. So is there anything we can get in 3F? Big brain? Yep. B. Real. Okay, no, there's nothing in here, actually. This is exactly where we were a few minutes ago, so nothing in here. So whatever it is... Oh, I can get that working again. Oh, hello. There's a knife there, that's useful. I will take that. Hello, my friend. Perfect. Anything in here? We got... Oh, this is a safe room now. Oh, lovely. What I'm saying. Let him be, he has no arms. No, I'm gonna kill him. I don't want him to live. I love these remote bombs. Not really using them much, but I do love them. Right. What's in here now? Nothing. It's not changed. It's exactly the same. Oh, there's a cupboard here, though, now. We've got some gunpowder. Make some enhanced handgun ammo. No, we can't. Never mind. Now, this is accessible. The safe. Okay. What's this? Oh, it's some combination or something. Okay, maybe if we put them all upright. Whatever upright is. Okay, I actually don't know. Oh, there's... Oh, okay. We match them to that. Yes! I'm a genius! More corrosive. That helps tremendously, I assume. Couldn't tell you. I don't know. Is her vomit still in here? Nope, but that is. It's so easy to deal with now. Oh, her vomit is kind of still here. I think he formed out of it, though, which is a little bit disgusting. Albert Einstein is me, yes. So many birds. Is this open yet? Oh, it does. Interesting. You bastard! No, stop attacking me. That is the first bit of damage I've taken so far. Some chem fluid. And some gunpowder. Oh, we got loads of herbs. Jesus. And 2 gunpowder. We're doing well. We're doing well. Right. 16 years since the Nightmare of Raccoon City. We got a reference. The birds do want to watch the gameplay. They could just watch my stream, I don't know. Silly birds. Alright, let's use the corrosive. We've got plenty. Remote bomb, lovely. Ah, there you go. That's what we need. Strong chem fluid, lovely. Alright, yeah, now we can go back up. I love Raccoon City. I love the Raccoon City massacre. I don't think Leon's, Actually, I don't know where Leon is at this point. I have no idea where he is at this point. I think the last I knew of Leon's whereabouts was with Resident Evil 4. That's the last, I think. Yeah, drunk and depressed in his apartment is probably accurate. Oh, hello. Oh, I don't have ammo. Oh, dear. That's not good. There you go. Lovely. Let's get that machine gun. Okay. We've got it. Pretty kind of shows where he is in Resident Evil 6, but no one likes that game. Oh, does it really? I should play Resident Evil 6. I'm playing through 5 at the moment. I've never played 5 before, so I'm playing through it. But I should play through 6 once I finish 5. I know it's not great. It's not got very good reviews. But you know what? I can cope. All right, we're gonna climb down. We'll be fine. We've got enough weapons now. We'll sneak anyway. It's always good to be a little bit sneaky. You know how it is. You know what? Let's save. We might as well. I've not saved in a while. God, I love Resident Evil games, man. Okay. Actually don't know what I'm doing down here. But all I know is that I can get these now. More gunpowder. Jesus. How much do I need? Oh yeah, that's what I'm going. I'm going down to the lower levels. I'll collect anything that I haven't collected already then. Get fucked. Ooh, I can go in here now too. There was a lot of stuff in here, remember? Yes, a backpack. That's what I want. I want to carry more items. Let's please. Some more remote bombs. I don't mind if I do. And what's that? A herb? Another one and some more machine gun ammo. Oh, I'm rich. This is probably the most items I've had in my inventory. This is crazy. Yes. Enhanced handgun ammo, I will take. Love some enhanced handgun ammo. Wonder how, like, stocked up you can get on enhanced stuff. Right, let's go downstairs. Oh, fuck me. Jesus Christ, you little shits. Oh my fucking lord. Jesus. There was no need for that. No, we're going up. Why are we going up? We want to go down. Oh, we can't go down this way, so we need to go down the one over here. This way. Yep. Apparently Resident Evil says Chris, Leon, Ada, and Sherry? Huh? Okay, we can't get through there. That's great. Okay, I should play Resident Evil 6. I know it's not good, but maybe it will be good for me. Maybe I'll like it. So how could we get down there if that's broken? A little bit confused. Not that way. I mean, here's the elevator. We can climb up. There's another character, Jake Mueller. He seems important too. RE6 streaming next? Well, I've got to finish 5 first. And then maybe I'll do 6. Oh, I need a cable and a fuse. Oh. I see. Then I can fix the elevator and go down to the basement. Okay, I can do that. I just don't know where to go to get those. I think there was a bit here, though, actually, that I didn't go in. Yeah, let's see what this is. This will probably be somewhere interesting. What is up here? Goes to what's in here. Something you can use. A lockpick is something. It's useful. Hello, my friend. That was a waste of an enhanced... Okay, never mind. Well, it wasn't really a waste, actually. Okay, so yeah, we've looted all of this bit. Shiva or Shiva. I don't actually know who that is. Does it say where these things can be found? Oh, number 2 engine room. Cable is completely fried. We have a replacement. We need to fix something in 3F sick bay and number 2 engine room. Oh no, that's where he needs to go. Okay. 3F sick bay, so we need to go to 3F. Which is here. So let's find the sick bay. Contents have been taken. Oh, that's not good. Hello. Wait, did I not go this way? Oh, no, I can't go this way. That's why. So, yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be going. I'm not confused anymore. This makes sense. I now understand. What a view. Lovely view. Oh, shit. My little things aren't on. There we go. Now the game is cooler. Alright, what is in here? Stuff we need, probably. Oh, okay, let me check this room before I go to the other one. Because... oh, it's these fucks. Oh, shit. Okay, well, let me take this before he gets me. Actually, what am I doing? I have remote bombs. Hi. Ow, you bitch. Get... oh, she's... fuck. This makes things difficult. Alright. We'll get the... we'll set up some bombs. We'll set up some bombs. We'll have them set up already. But the... like one here. Maybe a few here. We'll probably get plenty, so let's just leave them there. Loot a little bit. Oh, what? You bastards! Come on. That's it. No, come on. That's what we want. Look. You dead? Oh, yes, it's dead. Okay. Hell yeah. He is no longer an issue. Spawn killing him is crazy. Okay, we have the cable. This is fantastic. And another remote bomb, see? We get rewarded. Why isn't this open? Okay, well, I guess it doesn't. Okay, I assume there's more than one, though. I can't imagine that's the last one we're going to see of those. Here seems like a good part to see one. I guess not. Never mind. There's another door here that doesn't open. Weird. Oh wait, do we have a lockpick for this? Yeah. What's in here? Ah, a coin. So we do still need the coins. Interesting. Okay, so that's one thing for the elevator. I feel like we have to grab the fuse from the stairwell. That's my guess. So let's go down here and stick the cable in. And let's go now go get the fuse. Because the fuse should just be down here. Is that the right way? Yeah, kinda. Technically speaking, we can grab this fuse. Oh, you bastard! Jesus, there was no need for that jump scare. Now, though, we can't get up. Which is an issue. I don't really know where else we can go. Let's heal. If we have the fuse, can we climb back up? I think we can climb up, actually. Here, Shadow running with a knife is so silly. Is it? Oh, yeah. Silly. Mia's very silly. Right, let's just climb up. Lovely! This is a breeze. Perfect. Now we just go down to level S2. Why are the doors just blast open? What was that about? You know what? I love it when games have a knife and you actually like can get in contact with things when you slash. I like that. Most games will just ignore that there's a wall there and just do like the foop, foop animation or sound, and I hate it. All right, there's more things here. Never mind, maybe there's not. I thought there was. Absolutely, it's easy as hell, this game. We got so much enhanced ammo. Look at this. This is crazy. Yeah, get fucked. Yeah, I love it. That's why I love Resident Evil games, because they're so carefully crafted. Everything about them is just great. Get fucked. Oh, this is great. Maybe this is the part that I thought was difficult. But still now, this is very easy. You'll come alive, that's fine. I'll wait. See, 2 shots. And it's down. Oh shit, you're big. Oh fuck, holy shit. Okay, we'll place some bombs down, I think. Come on, come on. He dead? Bastard. Oh, no, he is dead. Oh, I forget they blow up. Actually scares me. Again, spawn killed so easy. Honestly, big guys, not as difficult as they look. I'm getting a lot of handgun ammo. Makes me think that there's going to be a bit of a fight coming up. Easy dub, get good. Literally real. Right, I won't get Ethan yet. There must be something in here that I can pick up. Yes! My husband can wait. I need bombs. Alright, now we should heal before we go in, because otherwise we're gonna die. I have herbs. I'd rather have first aid kits, but I have herbs. Hello, Evelyn. You were very quiet then.
Ethan.
Ethan, come here. Am I playing as Ethan now?
Ethan.
Oh. Huh?
Ethan.
Huh? Needs a husband, yeah, bombs, exactly.
Shh. I know. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Oh yeah, this
Would
bit.
have if I could have helped you.
Oh, I love these. I love this scene. It's so sweet.
Neither is Marguerite, nor my boy Lucas,
Okay, no, Lucas is.
or even Zoe here.
Yeah, I love this
That
bit.
girl, Evelyn. She did this. What the hell is she? Now, what did she do to you? She infected us with her gift. That's what she calls it.
Why is that so bright?
Yeah, busted out a tank in the bayou.
That's crazy bright.
Everything changed after that.
So she infects you and then she takes control?
No. Not exactly, son. She just... she forces her way into your mind, your soul. You can't fight back. You are connected to her, and you can't resist the urge to... Oh, you're a different person after that.
Just like Mia. So Mia sent me that message because of Evelyn.
Listen, the girl just wants a family of her own. She's the key. All right? You find her and you stop her. Ethan. Free my family. Please.
I'll do it. Fucking love that scene. I feel so sorry for him. And all of them apart from Lucas, because they're all so sweet, apart from Lucas.
Stay away from him.
Why? He doesn't love you. I can make him love you.
Don't
Of
hurt
course
him.
Ethan loves her.
Billy, I told you I'm not gonna hurt him.
Don't you dare.
So what? You're not my mommy. Remember?
Mia, how?
There's no time. You have to get out of here and find her. Here,
She's right behind you.
take this.
She's right behind you.
Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Saving your life. You need to go. I won't be able to resist for much longer.
She did it. She ill again.
Now go
She
kill
did.
him,
She,
bitch.
Mia! No!
it's all right. She's in the 8th game, so it's fine. She doesn't die until then.
Okay, you
She'll die in the
bitch.
next game, but not now. Don't worry.
Fuck.
Oh, it is very satisfying killing Evelyn. I will say that. I cannot wait to do it personally. Why can't I leave? What's this about? And why don't I have anything on me? Oh, that's why. All your fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Escape from the ship, baby! But it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. We gotta get back to the house. And we've gotta kill this son of a bitch. I mean, not son of a bitch. She's a daughter of a bitch. She's gonna kill this bitch. Let's go. Let's go. Oh no, the fish! The fish are dead. Poor fish. I love this bit because it's reminiscent of the start of the game when you're going through the sludge. It's great. Yeah, rip the fish. Oh, this is taunting. I can't get it. All right. Is this? They're watching us from the helicopter. Oh yeah, yeah. This is where we learn about like the more Resident Evil lore side of this, which I love.
Find anything? A thorough search of the Baker property revealed 0 survivors. Repeat, 0 survivors. We did find evidence of a skirmish. Evelyn? Negative. However, we did find several encrypted messages from the Baker's son Lucas to an unknown third party. You can probably guess who that was.
Yeah, Lucas was working with them.
We've had reports he's in the abandoned mine south of the property.
And he's
I'm gonna
escaped.
Go have a look. Roger that. We'll meet you
I
at
think
those
this is Chris
coordinates.
Redfield.
If you encounter Evelyn, orders are shoot to kill. Repeat, shoot to kill.
Honestly, I'll do it, don't worry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the guy on that radio just then that was like, oh, I'll do it, was Chris Redfield. Yes. Pretty sure. I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it was. Let's just take everything that Mia had. Yeah. I'll take the shotgun. Actually, we don't really need the pistol. Shotgun and machine gun are pretty sufficient. Coins, that's what I want there. I don't really think I need the corrosive anymore. Lockpicks, I'll take. First aid, yes. I have so much ammo in my inventory. This is insane. Let's make some more first aid. That's good. And let's get the Magnum, fuck it. Oh wait, we can't. I still don't have enough coins somehow. That's... Oh no, that's not a Magnum, that's... Oh no, it is. I don't know how we still don't have enough coins. That's crazy. Right, do we actually need half of this ammo? So shotgun, yes. Machine gun, yes. Handgun, no. So we'll get rid of the handgun ammo, handgun ammo, handgun ammo. We have loads of handgun ammo. But we don't need like half of it. Perfect. Unless we... I'm gonna swap the machine gun for the handgun actually. The powerful handgun, enhanced handgun ammo, and we'll take a few of the big ones. So we've got plenty of handgun ammo. We don't need any more. But, you know, we're taking it. Let's do it. We're spoiled for choice at this point in the game now with what we can actually take with us. It's really like a kind of, oh shit, we have to actually, like, decide now. I'll take chem fluid, and I'll put it towards... I can't put it towards anything, actually. We'll keep it. Probably health, I imagine. Oh shit, the mine! Yeah, are we going to the mine to get Lucas? Is that what we're doing? I completely forgot about the mine part of this game. Alright, we're going to use a shotgun for these guys. Hopefully. You as well. First we mine, then we craft. Let's Minecraft. Oh, there's so many of these guys. Jesus. I prefer Mia's knife. Mia's knife is better. We don't need machine gun ammo. I'll take it anyway, just in case. Because I might decide to swap. It's giving us loads of it anyway. There's some strong chem fluid, some normal chem fluid. We're getting so much loot right now. This is crazy. We don't need half of this. Right. I've completely forgot about all of this. Drink something. I'm drinking the Coke. If you redeem it loads of times, I'm only going to do it once. Why can't I... Okay. It took me ages to be able to leave. Yeah, I completely forgot there's a whole underground segment to this game. Bye. Bye. Oh, very sneaky indeed. Let's just deal with that. A herb? I don't have enough space for herbs. We have so much shit. I guess we get rid of the machine gun ammo, but I mean, I've got so much of it already. To drink that, I'm not drinking that stuff. Come on, I'm not ready. I'm not continuing yet. Oh shit. That was close. Oh, you're still alive, you bastard. I'm an idiot. Yeah, too much ammo. We've actually somehow got too much ammo, which is insane. Like, I can't use this on anything. Oh, we have plenty of healing as well. I might get rid of this. We've got plenty of machine gun ammo. We can get rid of it. We don't need it. So we've got this herb, and then I can use that on the herb. So we've got a spare inventory slot. This is good. There was literally no issue with getting rid of that much machine gun ammo. I don't even have a machine gun. All right, yeah, this was a strange part of RE7. Oh, that was sneaky, wasn't it? Yeah, bastard. Oh, he's just a torso and some leg, huh? Torso, leg, and arm. What's down this way? Nothing. That's what I like to see. There's so many ways to go. This bit reminds me of, there's this game I used to play when I was a kid. It was Doctor Who. It was a Doctor Who game. Doctor Who, like, British show. And, there's a bit in it that reminds me of this. But this reminds me of that. He's behind me, isn't he? Yes, he is. I think we have to use this. Yeah. Oh, hello. Oh, shit. Nothing to collect. Brother tried to try it on me. Tried to try it? Brother tried it on me. He did not try to try it. He succeeded in trying it, but he did, you know, it was only a try. Okay, let's go. Yes, I remember this. I remember this. This is all set up by Lucas, I believe. This is his, like, underground bunker that the Bakers don't know about. So that he can, fuck's sake. Yeah, that's how you know it's Lucas. Jesus. I completely forgot about this whole section, which is crazy, I think. Yeah, that's crazy. Lucas is here. Herbs, I will take them. Anything I will take before I activate this cutscene. And then I will use this... Oh, it's not a cutscene, never mind. Thanks to you guys, it's been about a week since my head's been cleared back to normal, and she still thinks she got me. You guys really need to work on fixing that. Not only does she look like a little kid, but she's about as stupid as one too. Mom and Dad are still totally under, though. I was wondering, is this whole family obsession something you guys programmed into her? It's kind of fucked up. That bitch Mia is still somewhat in between Evie La La Land and reality. She gets pretty violent, so I locked her up in a cell. I thought maybe Evelyn would get mad since Mia's her favorite and all, and she doesn't. But she doesn't seem to care. She actually goes and visits her sometimes. She thinks Mia's her mommy. Like I said, your bioweapon is fucked up. Yeah, very true. Evelyn's family obsession is getting out of hand. She's making everyone kidnap more and more assholes off the street to add to her freak show of a family. Maybe she's getting tired of Mia not coming around. But it's a pain in the ass for me because I got to clean up the mess whenever someone new comes along. Luke is doing too much. He should play Heli. Yeah, he's true. By the way, Evie's looking sick or something. Her skin's getting all wrinkly and she's getting grey hairs. Is that supposed to happen? It's like she's getting old all of a sudden. Whoa, plot twist. It's almost like the old woman is Evelyn. Yes, fucked up says Lucas. That's how you know it's fucked up, because Lucas is saying it's fucked up. Yeah, this is Lucas's lab. Report. I'm actually going to start reading these because this is where the lore gets interesting. This report details the symptoms that appear when the bacterium that grows inside the E-Series infects a human. Be sure to read this document thoroughly before dealing with E-Series weaponized assets. Oh, so it's the E-Series virus. Yeah, the old lady's Evelyn, yeah. Initial infection. The more it ingests nutrients from the subject's body to propagate itself and slowly takes over cells within the body. As a side effect of this, the infected subject gains remarkable regenerative abilities. During experiments, we removed arms and legs from test subjects and found that they were able to cope to the amputated limbs in a matter of minutes. Once the mold reaches the brain, the subject's thoughts become in tune with those of the E-Series asset. The subject starts to hear things and experience hallucinations and soon becomes under complete control of the E-Series asset. If this state continues, the host will lose all sense of ego. Interesting. After every cell in the body has been taken over by the mold, the subject begins to lose their human form. Physical mutations differ from case to case, but as it all result in him or her acquiring incredible physical strength. Containing a subject at this stage will be extremely difficult. Sarcasm, okay. "5 minutes after dose, vomiting." Is that the kid? 12 minutes after dose, cell calcification. Death. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And this is the cure. Put that in there. Destroys cells of any subject based on the E-Series bioweapon model. Not only for disposal of E-Series assets, the toxin must first be simulated before use to displacing the sample of E-Series. Yeah, I've done that. Here we go. So this is the cure. It's the E-necrotoxin. Project was instigated in 2000s as one of several concepts for the company's NextBAS, Next Generation Experimental Battlefield Superiority Initiative, working with technical assistance from HCF to develop a bioweapon for neutralizing combatants and en masse with minimal direct contacts. NextBAS was later folded and all its assets diverted to this project. What makes this project markedly different from conventional weapons is its ability to turn enemy combatants into allies, converting hostile enemies into willing servants. Since this effectively eliminates the costs of not only POW handling, but also combat itself, it's no wonder we had the blank and even blank's blank organization chomping at the bit to get on board. The project would never have existed if it not for the discovery of the remarkably progressed vicariant evolution fungus that we commonly term the mutamycete. The fabrication method for each bioweapon was to introduce the mutamycete genome to a pre-stage 4 human embryo before cultivation in a controlled environment over a period of 38 to 40 weeks. The resultant organisms were referred to as candidate specimens and graded based on usability from impractical and faulty Series A through to D to the perfected E-Series. A common appearance was selected for the bioweapons, that of a roughly 10-year-old girl, to ensure ease of blending in with urban/refugee populations. Evelyn was designed that way. The first E-Series specimen named Evelyn has proved capable of secreting the mutamycete from her tissue at will. Blank from her tissue at will. Secreting, not secreting, what am I talking about? Secreting. It is also of note that Evelyn's mutamycete imposes a profound control over body and mind when introduced to a host organism. We still have a lot to learn about the mechanism by which Evelyn achieves and maintains this control. The working theory is that the vector is similar to the auto-inducer pheromones used for quorum sensing in Pseudomonas bacteria. Evelyn's control is exerted in a series of discrete stages, the first of which is hallucination. Almost immediately after infection, the subject begins to see images of Evelyn, though she is not in fact there, and even can hear her voice, which is inaudible to everyone else. Auditions with infected subjects throughout the stages of infection reveal that at first the phantom Evelyn appears to be a normal young girl, or sometimes desiring companionship or assistance. As time progresses, she begins making more and more extreme demands, including self-mutilation and attacks on other people. The psychological shock this induces helps to break down the mind's natural barriers to Evelyn's brainwashing effect, and by the time mental control is achieved, the mutamycete infection has progressed throughout the body cells, so the body blank. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Evelyn's functions also include the ability to form organisms from mycelia, the fungal filaments, term organism is used loosely here. Strictly speaking, they are superorganisms formed of countless mycelia. What's important, though, is that they exhibit a strong survival instinct and will defend themselves ferociously with the slightest provocation. Their fungal toughness and remarkable strength give them significant battlefield potential. The researchers have been calling these superorganisms the molded, made of mold, and also molded as in shaped. The name has a certain elegance to it. Yeah, I guess you could say that. But the treatment of accidental infections performing blank on samples of Evelyn's body tissue produces a unique fungicidal serum. Administering the serum to an infected subject will cause the mycelia to calcify, but if the subject's cells are already largely invaded, the serum will be fatal. Since the treatment window is so small, so the serum's primary use is therefore disposal of infected subjects rather than a cure. Fair enough. In exploring the serum's potential, we found that subjecting it to blank would enhance its effects to extreme potency, becoming a compound we now call E-necrotoxin, which blank even in tiny amounts. What's been interesting to observe in Evelyn's behavior is her obsession with the concept of family. In experiments, we found on multiple occasions that infected subjects were compelled to act as her mother or father, treating her as if she really were their daughter. Why did she settle upon family as a theme for her mental control? This is just speculation, but it could be that she instinctively understands that a family unit is better suited for blending into social groups than a lone girl. On the other hand, well, a sentimental sort might suggest that she's making up her perceived lack of love in her quarantined upbringing, a parent's love. Maybe. Maybe she is literally just mentally just a little girl. She's just a little bit evil as well. Now we made it into the safe room. That took a lot. I think this just means that out there is a boss fight or something. Probably Evelyn's. So, let's stock up. I don't really know what to do. I don't really want to use a strong chem fluid because I don't really want a strong healing because it takes up space in the inventory and I've got plenty of other healing. We could use a separating agent on something. Yeah, we got plenty of handgun ammo. Do that. Use that on that. So now we've got plenty of healing. That works. It would make sense her being a little girl mentally, considering how badly she wants family. Yeah, exactly. I think she also has some bad impulses. Like Lucas, for example. Lucas is like... I feel like Lucas and Evelyn are very similar. Right. Do we need the strong chem fluids? I don't know if we do. I might bring the grenade launcher with me. Okay, my inventory is literally full. Okay, I'm going to save. I'm going to bring the lockpicks with me. If I don't need the lockpicks, then I will just discard them. While we're out there. And then I have space for anything I might pick up while I am out there. Oh, enhanced handgun ammo, please. There's two ways I can go right now. There's one way I can go right now. Okay. This is where it gets serious. What's this? Chem fluid and a remote bomb. I could do with some chem fluid. I might just discard the strong chem fluid. I hardly need it. If I find some gunpowder, I'll use the other chem fluid I have. Oh, she humming. Still don't understand why she's taken on like the old woman form though. I feel like that's a bit strange. Hi. What if I don't want to die? What if I'm quite happy where I am? This should be a breeze. I don't know how they're going to make this difficult. I got very close to my mic then. Very, very close. Don't really need herbs. I'm really trying to figure out a way to balance this inventory. If I shoot something with this flamethrower, I can justify doing that, so I can come back and pick that herb up. Anything stronger? No, I'll just use it on that. So now... Okay, that's crazy. Okay, never mind. From what I understood, she's just an old woman, like she can't necessarily control her appearance. She's aged because she stopped injections. That makes sense to me, to be fair. Yeah, actually, that makes total sense. Okay, that's worked perfectly. Who just messaged me? Alright. Now we can load this in and pick this herb up. Lovely. Get that. So now we have 9 opportunities to heal and 2 more inventory slots. This is going very well. I'm going to use one of those chances to heal based on this. I'm also going to save this flame round. You still alive? No. Okay. Fucking hell, die. Oh, it's dead. Never mind. I think there's a big fuck that's going to come around in a minute. So I'm going to be ready for him. That's a waste of ammo. Did I just pick up burner fuel? Fuck that shit. Get that out of here. Oh, I'll take some remote. I should use remote bombs, actually. I'm going to get rid of this knife and use a remote bomb. I'm going to save the remote bombs for the big guys, though. Don't really need them for the... Oh, actually, unless I save the... Yeah, unless I save my ammo for Evelyn and use the remote bombs now. I don't want to use too many, though. Okay, let's go. Burner fuel. Fuck this. I don't need burner fuel. Oh, I didn't pick it up. Good. Yeah, so this is when I'll use it. Oh, you bastards. And my remote bombs. Oh, Jesus. Go away. Oh, I hit myself. Oh my god, they're still not dead. Ow. Are they both dead? Okay, lovely. They're both dead. That was very easy. Okay. Some more first aid. Lovely. Don't need the burner fuel. Okay, that was very easy. This game is very easy. Oh, machine gun ammo. I don't need it. I'm getting rid of it. I do not need it. Okay. Shotgun shells. I do need those. What's this? Strong first aid. I'll take it. Like, it is useful. It's just... Anything up here? No. Alright, ladder it is. Wait, did a little jump? Yeah. Okay. Nothing down there. Oh, I guess this is the way to go. Oh, save place. Mine map. Stop giving me machine gun ammo. I don't want it. Yeah, let's save. I need to heal, actually. I will use... Yeah, I'll use this one. Evelyn's chair. Oh, this is the start of the game.
I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
It's not here. It's gone. It's gone.
Hey, I remember that. And then it gives you context for this now. Oh, this is... See, this is why I love this game. This is literally just the start of the game again. Yo, Zoe? Zoe, what's going on? You here? Zoe? My camera's so orange. Hold on, why is my camera so orange? Hold on, let me change that. That's better. I don't know why it was so orange. That was weird. Oh, I just picked the phone up again. Stupid. Hey, that's me. Hello, Evelyn. Oh, that's cool that you can actually shoot her. That's cool. It's Mia. You're a bitch. How is this my fault? You're the reason this happened, you dumbass. Fuck you. She's being a bitch. I don't like it. Wait, this is different. This is completely changed. Okay. Weird.
Ethan,
Oh, it's this bit again. Oh
It's
my god.
okay, it's me. I know you didn't mean to hurt me.
Kill him, Mommy.
But you shouldn't have done that.
I love how much context this gives.
Fucking hurt.
Does he want to be my daddy? Then he can die.
She's
Now
such a
it's
little bitch.
Mommy's turn to kill you.
Oh, yes. With her chainsaw. Can't remember what I have to do. So do I go up here? Am I like reenacting the game? I think I'm reenacting the game, which is insane. Oh, I have to go the other way. I was gonna go the normal way, you know, be an upstanding citizen.
Ethan, help me.
Where are you? Where is she? I don't. Why'd you ask for my help if you're not here? Silly. Oh shit. Oh, I thought she was chasing me. That was crazy. Yeah, we're just going through the start of the game, which I think is awesome.
You're gonna be one of us. And then maybe you'll play nicely.
I'm not playing.
No! Get that away from me!
Yeah, bitch. She's getting what the fuck? She's getting angry, so she's sending my wife after me. Okay, can I go back this way now? Oh no, this is actually not the way I'm supposed to be going. This game is confusing. Oh, child. So where to now? This way?
I don't want to hurt you.
Yes. I know you don't. It's fine. You're a bastard! Oh, fucking Evelyn, bitch. She's still coming? No? Good. No, stop it! Stop it! Get off, whoa, get away! Get away! I don't like it. Actually freaks me out. Like, actually maybe jump, I can't lie. It's gonna make me jump next time it does it as well. I just have to keep walking around, don't I, really? I just get jump scared by Mia coming after me with a chainsaw. I don't know what this is about. Like, do I have an objective? I have to kill Evelyn with the E-necrotoxin. Like, how? That's locked, so it must be something to do with this room. I don't understand. I'm so confused. I assume I just keep wandering around. Go upstairs again? Yeah, it's upstairs. Oh yeah, I gotta try and infect her. Not infect her. Yeah, literally walking simulator, honestly. I'm gonna get you, Evelyn. I'm going to get you. Going to get you with my needle. I'm gonna keep guarding. All right. Oh, I died. Oh, shit. I did not know that damaged you. Until I saw my watch was a red, and I was like, oh. I shouldn't have healed. I'm gonna get you, you little bitch. Yeah, that's it. That's what you get for being a little bitch. Little bastard. Oh, you poor old woman.
Why does everyone hate me?
You were designed to be hated. Oh dear, here comes the big boss fight. She is not dead. Don't let her fool you. She is still alive. Hello, Evelyn. She for real is just overreacting. I don't understand her. You just gotta like put enough damage into her before she gets towards you. Like, she gets too close, you're fucked. Ow. That's just bastard behavior. Yeah, you just gotta do enough damage for the scene to change. That's literally all you gotta do with that bit. Here we go. This is literally like the end game. Here comes Umbrella. Or whoever that is. I don't think it's Umbrella, but it's somebody. Oh shit. Yeah, it's Chris. It's Chris. He's here. Oh, this I don't have the right arsenal for this. Oh, that's not very nice, is it? I need to reload. I need to reload. Hold on, Evelyn, let me reload. Someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I don't know, she's being overreacting. She's overreacting. She's being way too overdramatic. Who's calling me? Is that Chris? Is that Chris Redfield from Resident Evil? Yeah, PMSing. Here we go. She dead. She dead. She is so dead. Where's Chris Redfield at? That's her mouth, yeah. Finally, Evelyn is dead. Resident Evil 7 is over. We finished the game! We finished the game. The game is over. Well, I did most of the game last stream. Is this Chris Redfield? No way this is Chris Redfield. Oh, I'm excited to see his face. Holy shit, it's Chris Redfield. Yeah, I know. Hell yeah. Real. Chris Redfield. The savior of Resident Evil 7. Oh my god. It's a shame, really, because that was a lovely house. Oh, hi, Mia. Yeah, rip the Baker family. They deserve better. Apart from Lucas. Fuck Lucas. I know you haven't.
They say that when one door closes,
I know this must be insane out of context, actually.
the door closed tonight.
The 7th Resident Evil game.
And what a long night it was. But not just for me. Me and I weren't the only victims here. So were the Bakers.
Yeah, they were. They were victims.
That thing, Evelyn, who made them that way.
Yep. Umbrella!
But now
Umbrella mentioned!
and these guys are here to clean up the mess.
Umbrella aren't that good. Don't give them that much.
I
Like,
just come to
okay.
terms with losing you.
Don't give them that much respect.
Now she's
Don't
back
do
and
that.
wants to start over. Put all this behind us.
You should see what Chris Redfield does in the start of the 8th game. You're not gonna like him. From what I've seen, you're in a house eating lunch with a lovely family, and all of a sudden you're killing a giant black vine goo monster that falls and crushes the house. Yeah, that's that. I mean, you're not. It's not a lovely family at that point when you're eating lunch with them. They want to kill you. So, I don't know. I don't know what this cutscene's about. Oh, it's just it's the end credits. Go tell Aunt Rhody. The old lady is dead. Yeah, I love this song too. This song slaps. Everybody's dead. Great song. Damn, we actually finished it. That's crazy. I'm editing this into a video, this playthrough. I've done most of it. I just need to add this stream into the end of it, which really won't take that long. Hell yeah. I can't believe we finished Resident Evil 7. Go. I said what I said. Go tell Aunt Rhodey that I just realized, why aren't you a moderator, Jack? You should be. There we go. I'm surprised you weren't. You think this is based on a true story? That would be crazy. Imagine that. I love this game. I think this is my favorite Resident Evil game. This always has been. This is what happened in Connecticut in 1983. The bite of 87. Go tell Aunt Rhodey. Go tell Aunt Rhodey that you got an ad. I didn't mod him in time, that's why. Oh, we got the credits. Imagine if it was based on a true story. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, actually, that is true. It is. I mean, there's so many like horror film inspirations on this. I remember I watched a video a few days ago about like how literally every single aspect of this game's story is something that you can also find in a horror movie somewhere. Like all of Mia is like it's not copied, it's just inspired by. It's crazy. Can we skip the credits? I don't want to watch the credits, man. Took us 5 hours. That's not awful. I don't know how long it took me the first time I did this. My face is not a myth, Jack. Nor is Lunateers. Restarts 13. We only got 14 just everywhere. Okay. See, there's a lot more in this game that I just haven't seen. Wow, I used 3 steroids in this game. That's kind of crazy. Yes! Now we can use that weapon and we can do Madhouse difficulty. Secrets of Defense. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's Chris Redfield. Okay, I would actually like to do that DLC. I might actually do that DLC on a different stream because apparently it's about Lucas, maybe? I feel like it's about Lucas. And it's obviously... I've secret the fucking defense. I want to do Not a Hero. Can we do Not a Hero? One sec, I want to see if we can do Not a Hero. I feel like I have it. I should have it. Do I have Not a Hero? Extra content. Oh, I have all of it. Oh, shit. Okay, cool. I have literally all of it. I want to do Not a Hero. I've never done it before. Ethan struggles over, there's one still mess to clean up, and the job's falls to Chris Redfield. Yeah. I'm probably gonna... Credit card information leaked. Brother, where? Yeah, I'm probably gonna do Not a Hero on a different stream, I think. Maybe I'll do a video of that, because I do like the look of that. I don't care about the others. The others aren't... I'm not fussed about. Fan footage is pretty cool. But yeah. Anyway, I think that is it for this stream. we have finished Resident Evil 7. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will, yeah, W stream. I was gonna play this game, but now I've seen the end. I don't think. Sorry, I spoiled it for you. Damn. No, you should still play it, Jack. You should still play it because it's the ending isn't the biggest part. You need to play the rest. It's so good. And you also need to play Resident Evil 4. You would fucking love it. Right. That's it for today. That's it for today. I will see you all next stream. I don't know when that will be. Probably Wednesday. Probably Wednesday. So I will see you Wednesday about the same time as this stream, to be fair, maybe a little earlier. Love the Resi games, so I want to play them from 2 to present. Yeah, you should play them from 1 to present, I think, because Resident Evil, the first one, it's older, but it's really good. It's just got tank controls. It's a bit more difficult to play, but it's still good. Yeah, let's go. Wednesday stream. We'll do a Wednesday stream. So I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.